Hey everybody, Regan Hagstead here, Mortgage Success Blueprint, and today I want to talk about step 4 in my 6-step originating success guide in the program that'll allow you to go from the first time somebody inquires until contract in a very strategic and modeled way that you can replicate over and over. And what this one is this is the planning meeting, okay? We've already went through the first steps. We've got all the scenarios, the clients. They're going to be coming in and meet. What do we do? Well, the first thing I always say is at least make it 2 days after you've sent them scenarios, maybe even longer. You really want them to sit down, review, discuss amongst themselves everything that you sent out, and also have them create some questions. You want to have this meeting that they can leave with a full roadmap of what their mortgage is going to look like and be extremely confident in their home buying process. You don't want them looking back questioning this or not understanding that. You want to set them up to where they get it and they love it, right? So in this planning meeting, what I always do is schedule a couple days out, but then I also start it off, whether it's in my office, which is preferred, or you can even do a conference call, set up a call-in number, whatever. The other thing I always do is I start it off with questions. Hey, I got all these things sent out. I know some of it might be new to you, some options you may never even have thought of or even want to look at, but like, what questions do you have? You got to make this meeting kind of interactive, back and forth, conversational. So address all their questions, start out with those things, answer those. Then I dive into scenarios, okay? And like we talked about last time, it's not just 30-year fixed, no points, right? I changed price point, I changed down payment, I added some points, I put in an ARM. You're putting all these things in there, and when I start digging into the scenarios, the first thing I do is I say, here is the vanilla mortgage, 30-year fixed, no points. But here's some other options. I'll even, like I said last time, I talk about the program that I wouldn't even offer somebody, I put it for illustration. I then kind of transition to, okay, so I put this one on here, and you see how the rate's really low, but the fees are extremely high. I would never recommend this. I wanted to illustrate to you what it looks like, just so you can kind of get a sense of how mortgages could be structured, even though they're not in your best interest. This is really just for illustration. And then I'll dive into the less down payment than what they were thinking. I'll dive into the different price ranges, but I really walk through each of the scenarios. And from there, what I say is, well, is there anything that you see in here that you want me to adjust? Sometimes we'll do some other revisions, maybe right there in the office. Maybe we'll do some revisions the next day based on their feedback, the answers to your questions, what you went over with them. That is really how you have a great planning meeting. But to wrap up a planning meeting, okay, because we all know how to talk rates and fees and payments, to wrap this planning meeting up, kind of in the theme with everything, what next? You know, you're a mortgage planner, you're a mortgage professional. Your job is to take them through the process, right? You need to end this meeting with, here's what's going to happen next. And for me, it kind of goes something like this. Hey, you know, I'm glad you guys were very clear. I'm going to send you those other scenarios, or if they didn't want them, I'm going to say, okay, now we have a really good idea of what we're looking at. Really, the next step is, now that you're fully pre-approved, you have a great handle on the price points and payments, you can walk into a house that's priced at this and confidently know your payment's going to be right here. The next step is you and I just staying in touch. The mortgage is effectively done. Now it's the hard part, finding the house that you guys love and that you want to buy. So as you're out there looking, anytime you see one that you might consider offering, I want you to call me right away. And that way I can update the scenarios for you, make sure everything's still in line, there's not any major changes in the market. And what I can also do is send that specific pre-approval for that house. We want to give you the best chance possible, okay, at getting your offer accepted. And there's going to be some things I do in there as well with your real estate agent to really kind of up the ante and give you a great shot at getting the offer accepted. But we're just going to be staying in touch from here. You're fully pre-approved. I'm 100% confident in you making an offer at any time. And we just need to be in that loop as you're seeing houses and you want to offer. So is there any questions? And then when they usually say no, I just roll into, that's perfect, I'll be following up, but never hesitate to give me a call. I now told them, whether it's a week or it's 10 months, right, what's going to happen. They're going to look at houses. They're going to call me when they find one. I'm going to be touching base if I haven't heard from them. They can touch base with me anytime. You've done all of this work. You've planned it. You've done the application. You know they're going to qualify. Don't lose them. And I don't care if it's 10 months or 2 years. I had a client, literally we started the application 3 years before they actually bought. Most people would lose out on that deal because they would lose track. The client wouldn't have gone through a process. And when they found that house 3 years later, they would have just picked up a new lender, right? We were on it and staying in touch because when you do all this work, you've got to ensure that you convert. It doesn't matter when you convert them. You just got to make sure that whenever that person buys a house, you're their person, right? And so this is a really key piece of tying a bow on everything you're doing from a planning side of things. So I hope you guys are taking this to heart. I hope you guys can take something from this, apply it to your business, and helps you guys grow. Other than that, feel free to like, comment, share, forward out to your colleagues and coworkers. Until then, I'll see you guys next time.